So last lesson we made a spreadsheet for Happy Homes that collected information about the customers and the types of holiday they would prefer to go on. At the moment, the spreadsheet is in a form where if you emailed it to all your customers, they could fill it out and email it back. What we need to do is to find a way of collecting all of this information and holding it together all in one sheet so that we can analyse the results and look at producing some graphs and things like that. So we're going to need a new spreadsheet file. So if we open up Microsoft Excel, and this time we're going to call the spreadsheet the results. So my spreadsheet was called Happy Holidays. I'm going to copy this top bit because I want it all to look the same in the same colour scheme. I might have to redo some colours again. But instead of just calling this one Happy Holidays, I'm going to write results on there as well this time. So you have to click on the cell where the writing begins. Mine is in E1. It's not a good idea to start typing like all the way over here in O1 because if you ever resize this or if you change the width of the cells, things will get out of shape. So click on where the writing starts. So this writing Happy Holidays belongs to cell E1. So on the end of that, I'm going to put survey results. So it's just typing at the top. Now my writing is a bit too big, it's coming off the page, so I'm going to click on E1 again and resize that. It's a little bit better, size 48. And I'll have that in the middle. There we go. Right, so the first question to start analysing is question 2. Question 1 just asked what your customer's name was. That's not important. But question 2 is where we want to start. So that question was, how many holidays have you been on in the last 3 years? So I'm going to copy that one. So how many holidays have you been on in the last 3 years? And then all of the different results which people could have entered, so from none to more than 8, all need to be written in a table. So I've written in all the possible answers that they could have given. I've deliberately written the word 1 rather than the number 1. This becomes important when you're making graphs because you don't want to confuse it with too many numbers. So write in the words for numbers. Where I've got more than 8, you can see that cell's not quite wide enough, so I'm just going to enlarge that one. And then we need to make a table around this, so highlight where you need your borders to go and click on all borders, and then it's time to put in the results. Now we don't actually have any results because we don't have time to email lots of people, but you can ask the people next to you perhaps what they think, and then you'll have to make up the rest of the results. So I would think something like this: lots of people go on just 1 holiday. A few more lucky people get to go on 2, some very lucky people on 3, not many people going on holidays more than that. Maybe 1 lucky person goes on lots of holidays. There you go. So that's our data in the table. To check that we've got the right amount of responses, you need to make a total for this. So in a separate table, this bit, type in total, where it says auto sum at the top, click on that one, highlight all your numbers and press enter on the keyboard, and that's telling us that we've had 23 people reply. When we do the other questions, we can check that it always adds up to 23, and then you know you've entered your data correctly. So the last bit is to turn this into a graph. The way we do that, we highlight the whole table, and then if we go to insert, we can use a column graph, and I'm going to use this first one here. So that's made my graph. We can resize it a little bit, make it roughly the same size as the table, and then you also need to add titles. When I'm selected on this graph, see where it's got design and format at the top? If we go to design and click on this one, do you see it's added a bit where it says chart title now? And we can edit that, and that can be the same as the question. How many holidays have you been on in the last 3 years? To label the axes, if we stay on design, let's click on this drop down. That one's got the axes labelled. Though it looks a bit squashed, there might be a better one. Like that one. That one's a bit better. So along the bottom here, this is number of holidays, and that's called the x-axis. The y-axis is the number of people. Our title seems to have disappeared from the graph. I wouldn't worry too much if your title disappears, because it's above anyway, and when you print the spreadsheet you'll be able to see that still. So that's question 2, all finished. You need to do a quick analysis, which is like a little written part for your results. The easiest way to do that is to insert a text box, and I'll call this analysis of results. So I've just written in there my main title and some subheadings, and then you need to look at your graph and say what you see. So the main findings, I'm finding that most people only had 1 holiday a year, or a lot of people in the travel agents haven't had any holidays in the last 3 years, so this would be like their first one that they're coming in to book. So the main findings are that on my graph, most people have had 1 or less holidays in the last 3 years. Then you say if you see any trends. Well, the trend I can see is that from the maximum of 5 people saying that they had 1 or none holidays, the responses go down the higher you get up the graph. So the trend I can see is that most people only have a few holidays a year, and it gets less the more the holidays go up. So I've said there's a negative correlation between the number of holidays and the number of people, and then my advice for the travel agents is that most people only go on a few holidays each year, so they should concentrate on selling them just 1 or 2 holidays at a time. Right, make sure we save that, and then we can go on to question 3 after that.